Jesus, oh God, oh, he gave us Jesus as a principle to follow. Jesus said, greater things you will do than I have done, because I'm going to my Father.
Hello, and welcome to the Joyce Davis Radio Show. The purpose of this program is to promote your personal well-being so that with God's help, you will come to realize your own potential and become a better and more fulfilled person. I remember after my first radio show, I was feeling a little discouraged because I was only focusing on how many mistakes that I had made because I was listening to the show. And I mean, every time I made a mistake, I would say, ooh. And then I got a phone call or an email from Renee. And I don't think she realized what she did for me that day. But she had been listening to my radio show, and she sent an email to encourage me. And today, she is here with me. We are sitting out at Matthew Park. She drove all the way from Houston, and I am just so thrilled. And I'm going to have her introduce herself, and I'm going to just have her share a little bit, and then we're going to go from there. We don't really know how this is going to go, but we know that the Holy Spirit is guiding us.
Thank you, Joyce. As Joyce mentioned earlier, I'm Renee Branch. That's my maiden name, Branch, but I'm Renee Branch Robinson. And I'm thrilled to be here as well with my friend and my cousin, Mary Joyce. And I just want to be able to share and hopefully encourage someone else in whatever it is that they're trying to do based on whatever it is that I'm doing.
I am so thankful to have her here with me. And I think one place that we can start with, we can talk about her going back to school. And that, I think, would be a good place to start. I think she was working full-time, and she went to school. So I'm going to let her talk about that.
Well, I started college when I was in California, and life kind of got in the way, and I didn't finish, but I always had a desire to finish, and I knew that one day that I would, but I wasn't particular about doing it while I had my children because I wanted to be available to them. I wanted to be a mother, and I wanted to just enjoy that and to give them what they needed, and I didn't want to take anything away from them. And about 5 years ago, I was at work on a computer, and advertisement came up at work for us to, whoever was interested in going back to school, Springfield College. And I'm like, wow, they have a degree in human services? I'm like, this is what I do. This is what I've always done, and this is what I enjoy. And it came to me then that this is your time to go to school. I wasn't planning it. I knew that one day I wanted to go back, but I didn't know when. So I called the school and got information, and then signed up, and it was a weekend school. And so I said, okay, I'm prepared to go every weekend. I'm ready. And then the lady told me it was 2 weekends out the month. And I'm like, what? That was even better. And working so many years and being in meetings and long meetings and things like that, it really prepared me to go back to school because it was 2 weekends out of the month, all day, Saturday and Sunday. So I was ready. And when you're ready for something, it doesn't matter what's going on, you're going to do it. So I had to kind of structure and rearrange things in my life a little bit in order to make this work, because this was something I wanted to do, and I knew that it was my time and it was my window of opportunity, so I didn't want to miss it. It was God's time for me to do this, and nothing was going to get in the way.
So tell me again how you saw this and where, because I missed that.
Okay. Well, I was at work, and every 2 weeks we have a newsletter that comes out for the health department. And I was looking at the different articles, things that was going on in the health department, and then a little flag came up about going back to school or Springfield College to get a degree in human services. And my first thought was, they have a degree in human services? Now I know that it's humanities. But I'm like, wow, well, this is what I already do. And that's how it all got started. And I knew that this was my time to go back to school. I always knew that I would. I didn't know when. But when this came up, I said, this is it. Got to get started.
So that's kind of like a miracle, huh? I mean, it's like a miracle. It's like, yes, it was time, and you was able to do that. And then with your son, you were able to do it. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. That's amazing. So, and then what happened?
Well, you mean in terms of school? Well, I had just become a single parent.
Okay.
And so, but I knew that it was time for me to go back to school.
Right.
So I knew that was a God thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had to, like I say, rearrange some things with myself, and I had to figure out how am I going to do this with my son, because I think at the time he was 11.
Okay.
And so basically, I just told him, I said, look, Mama's the head of the household now. I said, and this is something that I got to do. And sports and all this stuff is just going to have to wait.
Okay.
Give me a couple of years to get this done, and when I'm finished, then we'll get back on track
Okay.
with that. And he was sitting on the sofa, and he was playing, I think it was a little handheld PlayStation, whatever it was. And he just looked up and said, okay, Mama. And that was it. And so that was the go.
Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? Another thing so how long did it take you and to go back to school? Because there may be people who are listening today, and they may want to go back to school. Now, it may not be possible for them to do weekend classes, but there are online classes now also. Plus, in addition, there may be some weekend classes or some evening classes. So how long did it take you and that kind of thing?
It took about 16 months, 24 months, because I already had college credit from when I started back in 81. So I already had that college credit to carry over. And it took me about 24 months, 2 years to do. And after that, I took a little break because I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go on. I said, well, let me think. But anyway, it was still in my spirit to go back to finish, to continue on. And so I went on and got my master's. And that took me another 2 years. And I'm done.
First, you got your bachelor's. And then you got
my Master's of Science degree in Human Services, Organizational Management, and Leadership.
Oh, that is so wonderful, because I'm sure there are people out there who would like to go back to school, and it might be time, and they will know when it's time. I believe you agree with me.
I agree. And also, even though it may be time, but sometimes it takes us to come along and encourage people. I know there were a couple of moms, one in particular that I work with, actually several, but they say, well, I'm glad about you going to school, and I wish I could do it. And I said, oh, yeah, you can do it. I said, if I can do it, you can do it. And so I talked to them, and I might see them in the hallway, or they might send me an email, but I know that they needed that encouragement. They may say, well, I have a couple of kids, and I don't know if I said, you can do it. I said, now, you might have to kind of switch some things around. You might have to cook on Sunday and put some things in the freezer, and they can eat that during the week. Or and one lady said, well, I don't want to take away from my kids. And I said, well, it's a sacrifice that you're making. I said, but because you can go on the weekends, I said, you can also, they just need to know this is a time for you to buckle down, and that'll be an example for them that it can be done, and that it should be done, and this is just a part of life. You know, I got to do it. And you can do it too. So whatever it is I can do to encourage someone, a mom, a single mom that wants to go back to school, then I'm going to do what I can, especially if they go to my school. Because I already know the curriculum. I know the process. And if this is what you want to do, then I'll help you along to do it. And you can do it. And I let them know you can do it. And I think from them seeing me go through the process, a live body, then they say, you know what? I think I'm going to give it a shot. I said, give it a shot. I said, you'll do it. If you can get through that first session, you're going to make it. I said, I don't care what. Don't let anything stop you. You know, I couldn't go to weddings. I guess I could, but I made up my mind. No weddings, no baby showers. All that stuff is going to be out. Unfortunately, you know, no funerals. I go to the mortuary and I pay my respects. And I write my name in the book and let them know I was there. Or send them a card or put something in it. But I need to get home, write a paper. I just had to make some sacrifices because whatever's out there is going to be there when I finish. And sure enough, I'm finished. I got 2 degrees, and whatever was out there is still there. So for me to not to do what I needed to do would have been a waste.
Oh, I am so excited. I am so encouraged to have you here with me today, Renee. And like she said earlier, she's my cousin, and I knew her mother years ago, and I knew her dad. And so I am just so impressed that a young person would be encouraging me. This is, I don't think she know the depth of her encouragement that she has been to this radio show. Almost every Sunday she emails, not almost, but every Sunday she emails me to let me know that she was listening. And I don't think she would mind me sharing that she has been sending a check. She told me that she was going to support this show. I don't really ask people to do this, but of course anyone can who wants to. And she told me that she felt like God had inspired her to do that. So I'm going to let her talk to you about that.
Yes, I was, first of all, I didn't know that the show was on. And then when you posted it on your Facebook page, and I'm like, wow, she got a radio show? I said, well, let me tune into this. And I tuned into it and I listened to it. And in the midst of listening to it, it just came to me, you know, support her show. We can support by encouraging words and pat on the back. But real life, it takes cash. I can't do it all, but my little bit and somebody else's a little bit, if that'll help keep you on the air to do your ministry, because it is a ministry. You're letting people know about services and other organizations that are out there that's helping other people. And I want to do my part, as the Lord leads me, to encourage you to continue. You are an African-American woman on the radio with a radio show. And I want to do my part to help you along with that. And hopefully somebody else will come in and do their part as well. And I know that there are also other races, Hispanic, Caucasian, whoever it is. If you have an opportunity to be on the radio and to share and pass along some good information, then we need to support those people to stay on the air. And my best way for me to do it is to send encouraging words and a check.
We women, we have to stick together. Mm-hmm. And of course we want to encourage the men too, because we are all in this together, helping to make a difference in the lives of other people. And Renee drove down from Houston, and she is involved in many things. And in a little bit, I'm going to have her son. He's going to be on with me also. And I just know that God is working things through. He is working things out. And I am so impressed. Renee, are there other things that you would like to talk about?
I serve on the board for the Friends of Emancipation Park, and that's located in Houston, Texas, in 3rd Ward. And I came about that service, and I say serve because I was taking my son to a summer enrichment class, summer school, not summer school. It was camp. And I needed something for him to do during the summer instead of staying at home all day doing nothing. So anyway, I got involved in that, and he signed up for the 4-H club. And I said, okay. And so we started that, and I started going because I like to participate. And so the lady our board president, Miss Doris Ellis Robinson, she made me the assistant manager for the 4-H club because I was there working with the kids and things. And I said, okay. And then she said, you about ready to come out of grad school. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, we need you on our board. And I'm like, what? She said, we can use you. I said, okay. I'm like, well, all right. And I didn't even ask her what I was going to be doing because it was such an honor for her to even ask me to be on a board. And I said, all right. And I have learned a lot. And my course that I took in grad school about board development, that helped a bunch.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was able to just jump in and go right to work. But basically, the Friends of Emancipation Park, Houston, as I said before, it's located in 3rd Ward, Houston, Texas. And we are in the process of a major expansion of the park. Currently, it sits on 10 acres, right at the corner of Elgin and Dowling, right off of 288. And across the freeway is considered the museum district. But that was also 3rd Ward at one time.
Okay. And
so now it's been kind of taken over and it's considered Midtown or museum district. But anyway, so we're going to do a big expansion of the park. And we're going to have a new gym. It's going to be a destination place for travelers to come, just like they would if they were to go to the Reliance Center, if they want to go to the Discovery Green downtown. This is going to be, we have a historical marker, and we will be one of the travel destinations. So when people are planning out their trips to come to Houston, Texas, then Emancipation Park is going to be one of those places for them to come. And we are having a groundbreaking in October, latter part of October, and get that started. We already have our architects, plans are in place, and we're raising funds, and the City of Houston, Mayor Parker works with the board to help us raise those funds, as well as other community leaders. Sheila Jackson-Lee represents our district, as well as Councilmember Wanda Adams and several others, Andrew Burks, and a whole list of people, Rodney Ellis, Senator Rodney Ellis. And so those people are often around, attend our board meetings or send their representatives, and we just got some big things going on. And let me say, too, that Emancipation Park is the first public park in the state of Texas, and it was put in place by Jack Yates, Reverend Jack Yates, and three other businessmen, community leaders, as a place for Juneteenth for slaves. And we've been having Juneteenth activities ever since. So we are the first public state park in the state of Texas.
Oh, that is wonderful. And it seemed like I saw a lot of money that was donated. Tell me about that. I mean, I would love for something like that to happen here in Livingston. That would be wonderful. Tell us about that.
Well, currently, at last count, we have $33 million in the bank, ready to go, and to start the renovations. And it's a big thing. It might not seem like it to others, because a lot of people say, I didn't know that park was there. I say, yeah, and it's been there since 1872. And I am just pleased to be a part of this action that is taking place and is going to take place. It's going to be something else.
Oh, that is wonderful. $33 million.
$33 million.
Oh, we can do that here, Polk County. We can do that. We can do things so that we can have these things for our children. There's so much that we can do together. Together, we can make a difference. Again, for those of you who are just tuning in, Renee is going to kind of share her lineage, some people that all of you may know out there.
Well, let's see. My grandmother, maternal grandmother, was Pearl Branch. She was Mrs. Branch. She taught at Dunbar High School, I think Dunbar Elementary, all through Dunbar. And my grandfather, John Branch, was insurance salesman. And my dad is Raymond Branch. Everybody know him as Feet, Moody. I played football and also ran track. And my mother is Johnny Faye Davis. And she was the drum major for Dunbar High School, all 4 years, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, my grandmother on my maternal side is Robbie Lee Davis. She played the piano for many years in Leggett Church, Providence No. 1. So I wanted to make sure that I gave homage to those people.
Again, I just want to thank Renee for her support. It's amazing how we so depend on one another to encourage us. When we know that someone think what we are doing is important, it just helps us to carry on. So I really do appreciate you being here with me, Renee.
Thank you, Joyce. I appreciate being here, and I appreciate you asking me to be on your show.
Thank you, Renee. Our time is just about up for today, and I am just so thankful again to have you here with me. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity that we have to work together. Renee is working hard in Houston, and then she helps here in Polk County. She supports this radio show. She calls me to encourage me so that I can hang in there. And I just want to thank you, God, for sending her my way. And I just praise you, Father. And God, I just believe that all things work together for good to those who love God. And dear God, we just thank you for Jesus. And we ask this in his name. Amen. I'm here with Alyssa Puckett.
Thank you, Joyce. Like she said, my name is Alyssa Puckett. I am the 4-H and Youth Development County Extension Agent for the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service here in Polk County.
How can you become a 4-H club member?
To become a 4-H club member, you can come by our office here at 602 East Church Street here in Livingston, and you can fill out a green form. The cost is $20 for the entire year. Our membership is open for ages 9 to 18, or if you're 8 years old and in the 3rd grade, you're more than welcome to join 4-H. We also have a group called the Clover Kids, which is from kindergarten, 5 years old, to 2nd grade if you're 8 years old. And those meetings are the same time as our club meetings. So like I said, for more information, just give us a call here at the Extension office at 936-327-6828. We have tons of activities, lots of camps, and if you're interested in livestock or doing photography, we have a shooting sports program. We do food nutrition. So if you're interested in anything, you can just come out and see if we've got that project here, and we'll get you enrolled.
Oh, that sounds good. Thanks, Alyssa.
Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you, Jim Wolf and Wayne Scott, for all of your help here at KDOL. Please join me again next week for another chapter from the Joyce Davis Radio Show. If you have someone who you would like for me to interview, please call me at 936-398-5269 or send your request to Joyce Davis at KDOL Radio Station, P.O. Box 1635, Livingston, Texas 77351. See you next week.
With only a fish and a loaf of bread. Ooh, he's waiting for us to do great things. He's waiting for us to do great things. He healed the sick, He raised the dead. He is waiting for us. I want to please the Master. I want to please Him. I want to do great things for Him. I want to do great things for Him by loving others, by helping others. Greater things you would do than I have done, Jesus said. He raised the dead. 5,000 souls He fed with only a fish and a loaf of bread. And He's waiting for us to do